Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where it is acceptable to bring your briefcase to work. This is Lost in the Midcard, the Big 2-0, episode 20, and the next episode we can start drinking, as if we haven't been all along.
What?
Yeah, what? Along for the ride, as always, is Matt Black on the Twitter at RawFShowtime. Matt, how are we doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Doing excellent, and as always on our pay-per-view preview show, we get ourselves from SpiderDuck.net, the voice of Black Diamond Wrestling, Trevor Oz. Trevor, thanks for joining the show. How are we doing tonight?
Doing pretty good.
All right.
Can't complain.
I had to think about it for a little bit.
Took me a moment.
Had to check the script. Got a few stories here for you to lead off the week, and I apologize for my voice. It's been a little rough few weeks here with the good old sinus problems, but I think I got most of it behind me. But the voice is a little shaky tonight, so you don't get the $1 million voice tonight.
Yeah, that's one way to keep your throat going good. Just do that $1 million man laugh about 10 more times. Then we won't have a show tonight.
Then I'll do a Vince imitation, and then we'll really kill the show. Some sad news to start off the show. The team of Kidd and Cesaro is going to be in limbo for quite some time now, as Tyson Kidd suffered a spinal cord injury during the dark match that he had with Samoa Joe. Unfortunately, there's no specific timetable for this yet, but it looks like that it could be about several months, which is unfortunate because Kidd and Cesaro has probably been one of the better tag teams to come along in quite some time. The crowd was completely over for these guys, even though they started off as heels. Just their performance in the ring and the kind of the resurgence of actually both wrestlers, because Tyson Kidd, it's been a long time since he's been on a mainstay on the main roster, and then for Cesaro, who basically kind of was stuck in mid-card hell with ever since he won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal and then dumped Paul Heyman as his manager. So
what you mean to say is he was lost in the mid-card?
Thank you, Try the Veal. He was more than lost in the mid-card, I'll tell you that much. That's why Cesaro is our logo on the for those who subscribe to us and listen to us on YouTube. That's the one main reason why Cesaro is on our logo, is for the hell he's had to go through in his career.
That's because he's Swiss, pal.
He just doesn't connect with the fans, you know.
He
just doesn't.
Because he's Swiss.
Shut up!
It's the only reason,
Anyway.
damn it.
Hell, I think my voice just cleared up after doing that Vince imitation.
He was
Hey, what if Vince
over his shit?
What if Vince yelled out how he did for Drozdov, except whenever Cesaro was going for the swing? He's got a swing! He's got a swing!
He's gonna puke!
That was still one of the more what the fuck moments ever on Beyond the Mat, was the whole puking thing with Vince's. Yeah. Vince's
favorite part.
Vince's is no, my favorite part was forever about 85 times.
What?
So, where do you think this with Kidd possibly sidelined for some time? Matt, what do you think? What do you think the future holds for Cesaro? Does he get another tag team partner? Does he finally get a main event push?
He ain't getting a main event push, brother. He surely could be put into the Intercontinental United States title picture, relatively easily. I mean, he would be a great challenger for Cena one week.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it'd be even better, if he beat Cena. Because, I mean, that would be a hell of a rub. You know, because eventually somebody's going to have to beat Cena for that title. Why not Cesaro? I don't know.
And that'll be a hell of a match, too.
Yeah, it would be a hell of a match. They could do it this Monday. Going and beaten up and roughed up after his match with Owens at Money in the Bank, and he drops the title to Cesaro. And boom, you've just instantly made a new star. And, you know, yeah, he's held the title before, but, you know, nobody remembers that. So
no, they're
just gonna do it over again. I don't know. He could definitely have a good singles push. Main event, no, because Vince won't allow it. But as far as mid to upper mid card spot, why the hell not?
Trevor, do you think Vince will ever change his tune on Cesaro?
Potentially. I mean, I do understand where he's coming from, where Cesaro loves his lines, doesn't necessarily do the best promos sometimes, but the dude's got the look. I mean, he's got something there. I think if he can, you know, get the promos down, I think he'll be great in that role.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see because we have not really we didn't see Cesaro at all this week on Raw, so and I haven't looked ahead to the SmackDown taping for tonight's episode, so not quite sure what they're going to do with Cesaro. Hell, the WWE writers probably don't know what they're going to do quite yet.
Yeah, just team up with Jimmy Uso and call it a day.
There you go. Yeah, just throw those two guys together. Now,
I'm sure that's what Vince said.
Oh, piece of cake.
The Swiss Samoans. That's
I like that name. We're going to break a record for Vince imitations tonight. I can just see it now. Now, Tyson Kidd was injured with the move Samoa Joe's finishing move, the Muscle Buster. Matt, do you think that's a dangerous move to be used due to this injury?
No, because you know, I'm probably going to get some heat from the internet wrestling community, but I don't really care. Tyson Kidd is injury prone. And he always will be injury prone. This guy gets hurt all the time. People wonder why Tyson Kidd doesn't get pushed. It's because every time he does, the guy gets hurt. And don't get me wrong, he's great in the ring, and I like Tyson Kidd, but he's always injured when it matters the most. You can go back and watch the video. The video of the Muscle Busters all over the internet. The one Joe hit Kidd with. There was nothing wrong with it. There's not even any heat on Joe from WWE management because they feel it was just a freak occurrence.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I don't think the Muscle Buster should be wiped out. Joe's been using it for well over a decade, and he's never hurt anybody with it. So you know, it's just Kidd, unfortunately, is injury prone. I'm hoping it's not super serial, but you don't know how long he's going to be out. But no, I don't think the move should be stopped, and I don't think Joe should be punished for Kidd not being able to keep himself together. Honestly, WWE hindsight 2020, they should have booked Cesaro and Samoa Joe. Because not only do I think that would have been a better match, Cesaro wouldn't have gotten hurt when he took the Muscle Buster.
Yeah, it's true. It's good. I mean, it's a good point. I mean, Joe's been using the move for a long time now, but you know how WWE is. Sometimes they can get over reactionary. Look at the curb stomp all of a sudden disappearing, and then they go back and erase it from history. Apparently, because when you see the end of WrestleMania,
the whole curb stomp thing is because WWE is so paranoid about all the concussion lawsuits right now. As soon as all that shit disappears, magically the curb stomp's going to be back.
Gotta hope so.
That's all it is. It's WWE not wanting to have any ammo on their television. If you look at this in the Muscle Buster, the way the move is executed at the end, it's one of the safest moves in professional wrestling. Literally, he's
basically
just
a back bump.
Yeah, it's a back bump. He's dropping you down almost in like in a cradle suplex. But the way it's set up is what makes it look devastating. But the bump itself on that move, there's nothing dangerous about it. And like Trevor said, it's a basic back bump. So no, I don't. Yeah, that's my stance, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, they didn't edit it out of NXT tonight, so that's a good sign. We got ourselves an interesting article. If you check out the column here on SI that was posted on Friday, Friday, June 5th, little segment on Sports Illustrated called Extra Mustard. Very interesting conversation Justin Barrasso had with Justin Roberts, the former WWE ring announcer. It's revealed that there's going to be a tell-all book by Justin Roberts, which I believe is going to be a good read, a good behind-the-scenes kind of thing from a guy that has basically spent 10 years constantly on the road seeing everything. So I think that book is definitely going to be interesting. The article on Sports Illustrated kind of states that the passion that Justin Roberts had started to kind of burn out when he saw the results on a script for the end of the 2014 Royal Rumble, where he saw Batista was going to go over and Daniel Bryan was not even going to be in the match. That kind of got Justin thinking, what the hell's going on here, as Robert says in the interview, he goes, Vince was doing what he wanted to do, and that hurt a guy like Ray, who came out 30th, which, a lot of people expected maybe Daniel Bryan would make that entry in the last one, and Ray's a guy that never gets booed, and he got booed to high hell, and it hurt Dave Batista too, because it just killed the big return that he had.
I was in that building, dude. It was nuts.
Yeah.
It was one of the craziest crowd reactions I've ever seen.
Justin Roberts went on to say everything about it was wrong. I was hoping they would really do what's best for business, but the WWE wants to show that they controlled the show, not the crowd. But then obviously the WWE eventually caved in, and we got ourselves the phenomenal moment that ended WrestleMania 30. Nobody is more of a fan of the WWE or professional wrestling in general than Justin Roberts, which I think the three of us could probably agree on. It was sad to see that he got let go. Matt, what did you take away from the Sports Illustrated article?
I think it's going to be a really cool tell-all book. From more along the lines of the corporate structure of the WWE as opposed to JTG's book, where it talked more about the fellow talent that he worked with. I think this book is going to be more about the ongoing corporate structure of the company and the way decisions are made. And it seems like, just in the experts that Roberts had in this article, it looks like he's going to paint the talent in general in a much better light than JTG painted some people. So it'll be interesting to see two sides of the coin. From the eyes of a ring announcer to the eyes of like somebody who gets in there and wrestles. I definitely think it's going to be a must-read book. And I'm guessing from the way they said it probably won't even be out till next year. But I think it should be really good. Hopefully he has a platform to really plug it on by the time it's about to release.
Another kind of interesting thing from the Sports Illustrated article, Justin Roberts would say the idea should always be to make it better for the fans. He said that Freddie Prinze Jr. was briefly on the creative team from 2008 to 2009. He was a longtime wrestling fan looking to change things for the better, but the company did not want that. He goes on to say that the people on the writing team, they don't go to any of the live events. They just show up to the TV tapings and write wrestling. They don't have experience sitting and enjoying what the crowd sees on nights where the cameras are not rolling. And those are the house shows are a major catalyst of what you can see will go over with the fans and what won't go over with the fans. And Justin Roberts would go on to say so many times went off the air and the show was just brutally awful, and he knew the fans knew that as well. Trevor, have you gotten a chance to read the article at all?
I didn't get a chance to read it. I think Justin Roberts is a very interesting fellow, especially since leaving WWE. I think he'll have a lot to say, and it'll be interesting to see things from a different perspective, from more of a crew, and a crew perspective, crew and office perspective, so to speak, than what we see normally from a guy that's working.
Yeah, and throw on top of that, just throw the passion that he has for the business. I think the stories he's going to tell and the way he's going to tell them is just going to be something that you can't put down. And so it'll be interesting to see when that book comes out, kind of what the reaction is, if we see any.
There'll be a reaction.
there'll be some from us, that's for sure. But I mean, he goes on in the SI article to mention about pushes of Zack Ryder and Cesaro and how the legs just got cut off from them. Basically saying that anything that's not their idea is where, if it's not their idea, they ain't going to put it over, which is, frankly, pretty fucking stupid in my opinion. But I mean, that's the ego that Vince has. Is
the problem is it just goes against everything that to their talent. They tell them that they need to they need to seize the opportunity, and they need to get over, and they need to grab the brass ring. But when talent actually goes ahead and does that, if they weren't meant to, in WWE's eyes, do that, they get punished for it. So it's just their structure and the way that they handle things is just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, and so it'll, like I said, it'll be interesting. And also, Justin Roberts had a big relationship with Connor the Crusher, and so I'm sure there'll be a lot of stories about his time with Connor as well. Obviously, it's more it's more documented of Daniel Bryan's time with him, but some have even said Justin Roberts was even closer to Connor than Daniel Bryan was. It's going to be very interesting once that book comes out. Do we have any idea when it comes out?
No, because he said he didn't. I believe the article said it didn't even have a publisher yet. So I'm not expecting to see it until next year. And if Roberts is smart, he release it around WrestleMania time. Take advantage of the synergy that's already going on.
No kidding. That would be huge. The great thing about social media is we get to see things kind of play out on social media, and you always kind of wonder if it's a work or a shoot. But we got 3 examples of wrestlers bickering at each other through Twitter. First off, we'll talk about Harper and Rowan. Kind of interesting. They wrestled a match against Los Matadores on Monday Night Raw, which we will cover here in just a little bit. But they ended the match in an interesting way with the 3D. And we get shortly after the fact, Bully Ray tweets out, "Dear at WWE, if you wanted the Dudley Death Drop hit the way it should be, you should have the balls to call us." And Luke Harper decides to reply with, "Anytime, anywhere, we would enjoy showing you the way," which is coincidentally the name of the finisher for Harper and Rowan. Trevor, do you think this is the start of something, or just the fact that we got kind of a 3D ripoff for a finisher now?
I think, firstly, Rowan and Harper are big fastball fans, apparently.
I don't know how many people are going to get that reference.
I got it. I popped.
I got it, because I love 90s alternative music, but I think that was their only hit.
Pretty much. I mean, they had that other one that I can't think of, but...
Exactly. They had that other hit, but I can't remember the name of the title.
One.
So
yeah,
they're a one-hit wonder.
I know their fastball song, but... but other than that, I don't think this is like a legit storyline thing. I think, Bubba was probably legitimately miffed about it, and probably thought that, hey, maybe I'll try to take advantage and maybe WWE will give me a call.
Do you think WWE gives them a call, Matt?
I think they should, but I don't think they will. I think the most interesting thing about it is that Luke Harper replied. Luke Harper hardly tweets at all. I think at the time that he put that tweet out, he only had about 23 tweets total in his entire time that he's been on social media, and I believe all the other ones had already been deleted. So I think the only tweet on his timeline at the time that he sent that to Bubba and Devon was that tweet. So I would be honestly curious if he has any heat from WWE for responding to Bubba Ray, because normally WWE wants to keep their mouth shut when it comes to, talking to somebody who's not within their company. So I don't know. I would love it to be a storyline. I would love for them to show up and jump the rail and get into it with them.
Oh yeah,
it's really funny because I had a friend who insisted on watching Superstars last week because he thought Samoa Joe was going to be on, and I told him, like, dude, that match was not recorded for TV. He's not going to be on, but he watched anyway. I'm talking to you. You know who I'm talking to because you're listening right now. But he messages me afterwards. He's like, Harper Rowan just did the 3D, and I'm like, okay. So they did this last week on Superstars, but of course nobody watches Superstars, so this didn't even become a story until it was done on Monday Night Raw.
I don't think I've watched Superstars since I was 8 years old on Sunday morning. So.
Oh, I'm sure you watched at least one edition of the new Superstar, you liar.
I don't know, man.
If a TV show is taped in the forest and no one's around to see it, does anybody even care?
That's where this is where Zack Ryder's like the top star and Los Matadores are the best tag team.
Look, if Zack Ryder was the top star on Superstars, I'd watch it every week.
True.
Who are you talking about,
pal? We go from one Twitter feud to yet another between a quitter and a has-been, CM Punk and Hulk Hogan.
Wow. Let's tell us how you really feel, JB.
Oh, brother. We got obviously well, I don't know about obviously, but let's say all of a sudden Hulk Hogan is a Tampa Bay Lightning fan. Who knew? And we all know CM Punk.
Jumper Hogan.
Yeah, just because Lightning and Thunder. What was that? Oh, Thunder in Paradise. Yeah. Maybe that's why he's a Lightning fan. He lives in Florida too, but still, when have we associated the Lightning with Hulk Hogan? Never. He tweets out, like I said, the Blackhawks are in a whole lot of trouble. They should take their puck and then in quotes Punk and go home. CM can show them the way, brother. And then CM Punk responds with, "You mispronounced the team captain's name and didn't even know the coach's name. You're a hack. Shut the fuck up or I'll wreck you." Matt, what do you think about this little exchange?
It was one of my favorite tweets I've ever seen, ever, come across my timeline of all time. And I've been on Twitter for probably 5 or 6 years. And that was by far the funniest, favorite-ish tweet. I mean, if I could favorite that tweet more than once, I would. It was absolutely fantastic. And of course, Hulk Hogan didn't reply because, CM Punk would legitimately kick his ass.
Hulk Hogan doesn't really know how to use Twitter.
Yeah, remember when Hulk Hogan retweeted some guy who tweeted him and said he was balls deep in Brooke and he wanted to retweet and Hogan retweeted it. So, yeah, Hogan's the best Twitter handler on the planet, brother.
Can I get a retweet for that? Yeah, okay, brother. Wait a minute. I am balls deep in her. Oh, did I just say that? Okay, here we go to our third Twitter feud of the week. A lot of wrestlers and ex-wrestlers are bored, I guess, because actually this involves a lot of ex-wrestlers and only 2 current wrestlers. But anyways,
so much bickering.
I don't quite get this one, so maybe Matt can fill me in here. But it all started on the 8th of June, just the other day. Kevin Nash tweets out during Raw. Kevin Owens, 2 questions: guys want to be him, ladies want to be with him. Twitter world vote. And Kevin Owens responded with, "If the real Kevin at real Kevin Nash hadn't blocked me, I'd totally answer his questions." And then Dave Meltzer says to Kevin Nash, "Still stuck in 1992. Too bad. Real world in 2015 more open-minded about how they'll spend money to see." And What did you?
Sure, have to say who they'll spend money to see, but that's Meltzer for you.
Oh, how? Yeah, he spelled who with how instead of who. Anyways, what? Any idea of what the motivation was for that?
I would think it has a little bit of I think a little bit of Kevin Nash work in the internet, because he likes to rile up the internet and have people come at him so he can hit the block button over and over again. And I think he was taking a shot at Kevin Owens' figure. He's not your stereotypically built WWE superstar look. And he was saying, what guy wants to look like Kevin Owens and what woman wants to be with him? It was a cosmetic insult directed to Owens. I'm not quite sure why Nash would have originally had him blocked, but it's kind of funny that he did. And I thought Kevin Owens' response was absolutely priceless. The only thing I would warn Kevin on is to tread lightly, because that's a member of the clique, and you don't want to piss off your boy Triple H right now. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna say I don't think there's much that Owens could really do to piss off Triple H right now. That's his money ticket right there. I think Owens should have came back with some sort of magic mic barb. That would have been epic. Trevor, what do you think? Is this just ex-wrestlers trying to get attention?
Kevin Nash trying to go on his retirement tour. And, I mean, at this point, come on, Kevin. I like Kevin Nash. He's a really cool dude. I've met him before. It's like, come on, Kev. What are you doing?
I'd pay to see Kevin Owens end Kevin Nash's career.
Oh,
the put me out of my misery tour. I would like to see that. I would love to see Kevin Nash take a pop-up powerbomb.
The pop-up powerbomb versus the jackknife.
I would be all about it.
Our final news tidbit of this episode, we take a look at our first Wednesday night war between Ring of Honor and TNA Wrestling, and this is some quite interesting numbers. I got from the Inquisitor.com. The debut for the Ring of Honor show on Destination America got 163,000 viewers, and the replay got a strong 110,000. So not a bad drop off there. That totals 273,000. While last week, which is Matt first moved to Wednesday? Is this the first week of it?
It was TNA's first move to Wednesday and ROH's Wednesday. So he was the beginning of the Wednesday Night War.
So TNA garners a massive 297,000 on their first Wednesday night appearance for this present time. So obviously, Spike, they were drawing in about 1 million. Destination America, they were first off, they were kind of hovering around 600,000. Now they're dropping to where Ring of Honor almost beat them with their 2 airings combined. Matt, do you think this kind of spells trouble for TNA, even more so, where they didn't even hit 300,000 viewers?
Well, they hit over 300,000 viewers if you count the replay. With the replay, they hit a total of 369,000.
I thought
viewers.
They canned the replay.
No, Wednesday night goes Ring of Honor, TNA, Ring of Honor, TNA.
Okay.
So that's the way Destination America has their setup right now. So with the replay, TNA got a total of 369,000 viewers. Ring of Honor total 273,000. It's a pretty bad drop off, but at the same token, you have to, every time a professional wrestling show moves nights, it loses audience. So it's probably going to take a couple weeks for the genius TNA wrestling fans to find them again. I would say a month from now, if they're still pulling 1 month from today, let's say mid-July, if they're still pulling with the replay under 400,000 viewers, they're in a lot of trouble. because a show that's never been on network, it's never been on national television before, pulled almost 300,000 total viewers in its first week. So, yeah.
Trevor, do you think the end is near for TNA as it's being reported?
I mean, they still have a lot of international deals, so they're not going away anytime soon. Even if they're going away from Destination America, even if they don't have a TV show in the United States, they just won't really have a presence in the United States. At least until their international TV deals are up, and then, yeah, probably gone at that point, because they can't really sustain itself without any TV deals. But yeah, it's an interesting situation. I think the situation Ring of Honor is way better off than they are, and I think a lot of fans were disenfranchised with Impact for a long time, and we're kind of seeing that now, and they kind of hurt themselves in the long run, which sucks because their product's actually been pretty good lately, even though their storylines don't really seem to go anywhere. But the actual wrestling itself has been pretty good.
Yeah, there's no question about that. I've actually not watched Impact in the last couple weeks. I think maybe just because I have this feeling that they're gone. I just have this feeling it's going to happen. And
I mean, Trevor's absolutely right. Even if their deal ends with Destination America and they shut the lights out on them, as far as their channel goes in September, they have too many international TV contracts all over the world right now that TNA just can't fold up and go away. Mm-hmm. So I guess that at that point they would have to become they would have to find a new home in North America, or they would have to become like a YouTube show for people watching in the States. I mean, I don't know what their backup plan is. But
would they go the route of Ring of?
Yeah, damn it! If I'm TNA, I'm trying to formulate some type of backup plan right now.
Would they go the route of Ring of Honor and get some kind of regional deals like through Sinclair? Not through Sinclair specifically, but
I've heard that they had another one of the channels that they were communicating with when they were doing the for the television negotiations. One of the other channels they were negotiating with was WGN America, which is I believe it's based out of Chicago. Yeah. But the thing is, WGN didn't want them to come in until I believe right around now. I think it was May or June they wanted them to come in, and so they would have been off TV for 5 or 6 months before they debuted on another network from Spike TV to WGN. So I think that had some of the reason to do why they went with Destination America over WGN. They're probably both roughly in the same amount of homes. Because, I mean, I'll be honest, I've heard of WGN more than I heard of Destination America before all this happened. So...
Well, WGN America is standard on all Time Warner systems, even if you just get the 22-channel package.
Yeah.
You get WGN America. WGN America... is a superstation like TBS, and they used to carry the Cubs games and White Sox games all the time, but just like TBS, they've gone completely away from localized baseball, and TBS does national games where WGN doesn't even air. The America channel doesn't even air Cubs games anymore. So WGN America is actually in a lot of homes, I do believe. I mean, especially in cable homes where it's basically if you pay the bare minimum to see 20 channels, you're going to get it. So if they sign a deal with WGN America, that'd actually be huge for them, I think. Let's move to let's move to the NXT action from last night. We start off with the brand new tag team, Mojo Rawley and Zack Ryder. They face Elias Sampson and Mike Rallis, and I think Mojo Rawley, he hadn't been in the ring for a few months now, and I think he's been drinking even more coffee than he normally does on his time off, because holy cow, that guy was, pun intended, hyped. But pretty cool tag team, I think. I enjoyed it. The match ended with with Raleigh putting up Rallis into on his shoulders, and then Zack Ryder comes up with the Rough Rider off the top rope, and they celebrate Gronk style because Gronk was in the crowd, and when I saw the interview at Takeover, I was like, well, I don't know about this, but watching them in action, I definitely think there's some good things ahead for Raleigh and Ryder. Matt, what did you think about that match tonight?
I was just happy to see Zach anytime and with a win on top of that. So hell, if they're gonna reboot Raleigh in a way as being a tag team with Zack Ryder, and they're going to give those guys some wins, I'm totally okay with that. So we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, it looks like they are kind of we mentioned this in a way to reboot Mojo Rawley and to kind of make it more like his real life best friend Rob Gronkowski, and we saw a lot of that tonight. After that match, we got ourselves a vignette with Finn Balor. It says Finn Balor arrives, which is his arrival in Japan on July 4th, a very special live event that's going to be on the WWE Network where Kevin Owens and Finn Balor will fight for the NXT title. Trevor, you gonna stay up late or get up early for that event on July 4th, or wait for the on demand?
I'll probably just wake up and watch it on demand. In all honesty.
Yeah. We talked about that on last week's show. I think it's gonna be like 4 a.m. my time, 5 a.m. your time, maybe.
It's 6:30. Coverage. They said coverage starts at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so that would be 5:30 a.m. Central. The way I feel about it, as long as I can wake up that morning, avoid my computer, and go straight to the WWE Network and load it up and watch it, I'll be fine. But I surely don't. I surely don't want to wake up and hop on social media without watching it and have the entire show spoiled for me. Because if I immediately just get up and go to the network and I watch it, it's kind of like watching it live. So it's not like anybody has had a chance to spoil it for me yet. Because I don't know. I don't really know if I want to be up at 6:30 in the morning. We'll see. We'll see what happens when the time comes.
Well, it is July 4th, so there's no work that day for me. So maybe I might just still be up. Who knows? I might party like Gronkowski here, and no, probably not. I'll probably wake up and do the same thing. Wake up at the crack of noon and put in the wake up at the crack of noon, put in the WWE Network. We get the return of Blue Pants. Against Evil Emma. And this match went for a fairly long time, considering Blue Pants is pretty much a jobber on NXT. We actually haven't seen Blue Pants for quite some time. But just in a few minutes...
Emma. I am Evil Emma.
We get Emma winning with her dilemma submission maneuver where she humps the air, locking that bitch in. Really like to see Blue Pants more often. Obviously, that Blue Pants gimmick is only going to go so far, but pretty good wrestler in the indies, though, so we'll have to see what happens there. Enzo and Cass and Carmella backstage doing a promo on Alexa Bliss and the Sweet Boys, and basically Enzo shows you why he's one of the best on the microphone in the industry right now. Pretty good little backstage promo there with Enzo. Next up, we get our resident jobber of NXT, Bull Dempsey, taking on the gorgeous one, Tyler Breeze. And to start off the match, we get a Bull is gorgeous chant. Yeah. Best chant of the night, though, goes to the NXT universe for chanting cardio when Bull was chasing Tyler Breeze, and Tyler did a couple laps around the ring, and Bull pulled up with a little cramp and a little heavy wind there. So that was kind of funny. But with no surprise, the beauty shot, as soon as Bull gets back into the ring after huffing and puffing, the beauty shot knocks him down. 1, 2, 3. Basically, Bull Dempsey, what do you think of this Bull Dempsey Now he's going to be eating junk food.
I laughed. I'm sorry. I thought it was funny. Just randomly eating Doritos and then pulling a Hershey's bar out of his singlet. I thought it was funny. So, I honestly, I thought it was the funniest thing he's done since he's been in NXT.
Yeah, it doesn't say too much though.
Well, I know, but I'm just putting it out there.
For sure. Becky Lynch against Jessie McKay. Jessie is also an Australian, just like Emma, and basically Becky Lynch coming back out with the attire that she wore at the last Takeover event, and of course the Edge entrance, which is pretty badass. I wanted to start humping the ring though, just like Edge did, but then that might be gimmick infringement. I don't know. Becky Lynch wins with a pretty cool slam into an armbar combo there. No surprise for Becky Lynch as she defeats one of the newer ladies in developmental there. Then we get our segment with backstage with William Regal as Bull Dempsey interrupts him eating a bag of Doritos and makes the excuse that he was working out all night, which is why he blew up when he was trying to chase Tyler Breeze. I don't know. Regal tells him
I thought it was funny.
Regal tells him to get his act together, and then he pulls out a chocolate bar. I hope he didn't have that chocolate bar during the match, because
no, he didn't. Come on.
That'd have been.
I bet you that segment was taped even before the match happened.
I'm kayfabing here, man. Come on.
Awful.
Still real to me, damn it.
Awful kayfabe, brother.
It's like a night of squashes here. Baron Corbin squashed Angelo Dawkins fairly quickly with the end of days there. Not much to see here. Move on. And then we get our main event squash of the night with the debut of Samoa Joe. And Trevor, what did you think of Samoa Joe's NXT debut?
Honestly, I didn't watch NXT, but I'm pretty sure it's just Samoa Joe squashing a dude and doing what he does. So
Dawson did get a few punches in there. He got a little bit of offense on Joe, but basically not much to the match. Just a little bit of ground and pound from Joe, and then obviously the crowd did wake up for the Muscle Buster. Kevin Owens is on commentary for the match, and basically we get ourselves a stare down at the end of the match. Joe is calling out Kevin Owens to get in the ring, and the best line of the night, Joe gets on the mic and calls him a coward and likes to run away from a challenge, and the best line of the night by Kevin Owens, I really don't run anywhere. And that got a few laughs from the NXT universe. And then he kind of mocks his own debut by saying Joe just can't come in and get a title shot after just one match. But William Regal comes out and says that Joe is going to fight Kevin Owens non-title match for the next week's NXT main event, which I assume should blow the roof off the dump, so to speak. But NXT was... What's that?
Off the dump.
Off the dump. Off the Full Sail dump. Basically, NXT was a night full of squashes, though. But obviously the in-ring debut of... Yeah, the in-ring debut of Joe, though. Matt, what did you think about Joe tonight?
He was on, man. I thought he looked really good. Honestly, the best shape I've seen him in a long time. I thought he killed it. I thought the back and forth with him and Owens at the end was great too. I'm excited to see those two go head to head next week. All
right, now we're gonna transition quickly to a little quick SmackDown recap. We got ourselves a 3-team tag team match here between the Primetime Players, Ascension, and Lucha Dragons, with the Primetime Players going over there. No surprise, as they are in line for that tag team title shot at Money in the Bank. Basically, we get basically, I think it's just more of a reminder that, hey, look, there's no Tyson Kidd here, no Kidd and Cesaro, but the Primetime Players, we'll see in our predictions here at for Money in the Bank at the end of the show if we think the Primetime Players are going to go over against the New Day. Another interesting thing here was the NXT Open Challenge by Kevin Owens. Unfortunately, it wasn't too much of excitement. Zack Ryder answered the challenge, but quickly got pushed aside there by Kevin Owens. And basically, that's about it for SmackDown this week. Not much action going on there. But we go to Raw in New Orleans, Louisiana. The crowd pretty ruckus for the go-home show for Money in the Bank. And for once, we do not start Raw with the Authority. How about that, Matt?
Must have been listening to our last pay-per-view preview show.
More like the last
US title.
Yeah, that and they must have been listening to the last 3 episodes where we were saying, "Oh, look, a surprise! The Authority starts off Raw."
They know that we're on the pulse of the professional wrestling community. And it's just about time they listened. I appreciate it. Thanks, Trips.
When are they going to start sending their sponsors our way?
I don't know.
For some of that money? Yeah.
Hey, you can't say that.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Now they're never going to sponsor us.
I was like, well, first off, we can't talk about JTG. We can't talk about TNA. We can't talk about Ring of Honor.
You can't do Vince imitations anymore.
Basically, yeah, we definitely can't do Vince impressions anymore.
Damn it!
They do me better than I do me now.
I just said I do me. That's funny, pal.
Sad but true.
John Cena starts off Raw, which, again, I mean, even though the Authority starts it off every week almost, John Cena did it for quite a long run himself. Kevin Owens shows up, and they talk some shit and decide to have a dual open challenge where somebody will come out and choose which title they want to fight for. Adrian Neville comes out and challenges Kevin Owens to the NXT Championship. He believes Kevin Owens is not worthy of that title due to his actions. And boy, did we get ourselves a good match there between Kevin Owens and Neville. Only thing that drew me nuts about this was they had John Cena on commentary, and the whole first half of that match was great, and all they did was talk to John about Kevin Owens. That was about my only gripe about it. It kind of took away
Jack. You didn't think that was good, Jack? That's how I do all my promos.
I don't know, but Matt, what did you think about the Owens and Neville match?
Oh, the match was amazing. I ignored the commentary. I've gotten really good at tuning those guys out when I just want to focus on what's going on in the ring. So I couldn't even tell you how the commentary went, but I thought the match itself was really good.
I should have put it on mute. That would have probably made it a little more enjoyable. We get ourselves apparently WWE's latest social media crusade is Instagram, apparently, as they show us a bunch of pictures of Dean Ambrose with Seth Rollins' World Heavyweight Championship in New Orleans. Those are some pretty good photos, though. It's a lot better than random jabronis on Tout, I'll tell you that much. We get Triple H and Stephanie in the office talking to Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is complaining about Ambrose stealing the title and sucked up to them, but Stephanie and Trips stick to their guns from when Rollins said he didn't need any of their help. Do you really think nobody's going to help Seth Rollins at Money in the Bank, Matt?
Should we be talking about this before or after we do our predictions?
I don't know, but
I plead the fifth until we come to our prediction spot.
This just smells so
I'm not giving you any ammo, buddy.
Giving you
any of my good ideas.
Giving you this tough love, Seth. You know, I can see right through that tough love. Anyways, apparently Summer Rae is all of a sudden a face now, or either it was a heel versus heel matchup, but Give Divas a Chance went a whole 2 minutes on Monday Night Raw with Nikki Bella defeating Summer Rae. Yeah, I don't. Vince cannot book women, and I don't think he can even keep them straight if they're heel or face right now. Hey, Matt. If I was to ask you as Vince, what do you think about the Divas division right now?
It's great.
Vince, what makes it so great?
They just go out there and they do it all, and that's what I like.
What do they do, Vince?
They do it all.
What is all?
Damn it! Don't question me. They do.
I think
it
that
all.
might have.
Damn it.
That might be how the conversation would actually go. I just have a feeling. We get our typical everybody show up and cut a promo if you're in the Money in the Bank ladder match, except R-Truth came out. that was pretty damn funny, though.
Best part of Raw.
It was.
It
it was fantastic.
R-Truth comes out and says, "What's up?" to New Orleans, and he talked about conquering his fear of ladders at WrestleMania, and then Kane reminded him he's not in the match, and he goes, "Oh, my bad." And
what are you doing out here? What do you mean?
Best part
You're
about
not
all
in the
that
match?
was best part about that was Reigns and Ziggler just cracking up in the ring. It's like Saturday Night Live when Chris Farley was doing a joke and nobody could keep a straight face. But basically everybody coming out saying how they're gonna whoop some ass, and then it leads us to Randy Orton versus Sheamus, Part 5034. Another lengthy match too between these guys, even though they just fought last week. Actually, I thought this match was a little better than last week's match, but still ends in the same way with a chair getting involved. But this time it was Orton getting himself disqualified, hitting Sheamus with a chair to kind of give us a little bit of a feud going into the Money in the Bank ladder match. Seth Rollins in the locker room, and Triple H is going to let him choose his opponent as a tune-up for the Money in the Bank Championship match on Sunday. And J&J show up, and Noble's a little pissed off, as he has been with Rollins lately. And that leads to Rollins choosing J&J in a 2-on-1 handicap match for his match tonight on Raw. And then we get ourselves a nice little promo from Joey Mercury, a man who rarely speaks, a man of few words, and I thought Joey Mercury was pretty good there, don't you think, Matt?
Yeah, I mean they've been building it up for weeks, as he was the guy of the security group that didn't talk, and we all know he can talk, so you knew it was only a matter of time until they gave him his moment to say something. So it was a decent build to it, but I mean it wasn't anything mind blowing.
No.
So.
Still thought it was pretty cool, though. We all kind of wonder, well, is this just kind of a setup for Dean Ambrose later? We'll find out at the end of Raw. Dolph Ziggler against Kane. Basically, not much there. Rusev knocking. The big thing was Lana was cheering on Dolph Ziggler on the ramp, and Rusev comes out and kind of crowds her, and she falls off the ramp and twists her ankle. Why is she not at ringside?
I'd much rather have Rusev chase Lana off the entrance ramp than James Storm push Mickie James off railroad tracks. But I digress.
I heard about that.
Mickie James is dead, okay?
There were legitimately people calling 911, weren't there?
I don't know.
Probably, because people are dumb, but...
I missed that episode, and apparently I didn't miss much, because that just sounded stupid. I read about it, and it looked stupid in print, so... But basically, the distraction cost Ziggler, and hey, look, Kane wins a match just to make you think he's going to look strong for that Money in the Bank ladder match. And I bet all three of us picked Kane for that one, too.
Mm-hmm.
Miz, listen to that silence, folks. Miz TV with Big Show and Ryback, I thought was, for being Miz TV, it was pretty entertaining. A little better than normal. I was kind of surprised they gave the old shell shock away on TV instead of...
I had no idea why they gave that away on Raw when they could have done that at the pay-per-view on Sunday.
Yeah. I don't know. That was kind of odd.
So,
I don't know. I smell a Miz interference, no contest on this. I'm thinking I'll give you a little preview ahead of time.
I smell a Big Show match, so it's going to be shit.
You smell what The Rock is cooking? But as far as Miz TV goes, that was one of the more better segments there. And as we mentioned earlier, Harper and Rowan took on Los Matadores, and that ended with the old 3D, and Luke Harper saying, "Rowan, get the tables." No, I'm just kidding. He didn't do that. I think the crowd chanted tables.
They did. They asked them to get the tables after they hit the 3D.
we get ourselves a one-on-one match between two tag teams that are involved in the title match at Money in the Bank. Titus O'Neil gets defeated by Big E after a quick little 3-minute match there. Then the New Day stays out for Kofi Kingston, his match against Roman Reigns. And this was I would say this was a surprisingly good match between a guy that just has not been utilized for the past who knows how long in Kofi Kingston against Roman Reigns. I kind of enjoyed that match. Didn't you, Trevor?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, the problem with Raw a lot of times is that WWE trains us that matches don't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the overall problem with Raw in general. But as far as the match goes, it was good.
Yeah, I was surprised on how competitive it was. And, boy, I don't know, man. They got him going against Brock Lesnar. Wouldn't that be something if somehow Kofi won the Money in the Bank? Reigns pulls out a chair at ringside, and what is it for? It's for Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose makes his way back to the arena, bought himself a front row ticket, got himself some popcorn and some drinks and all sorts of stuff there, as he's front row for the main event of J&J Security against Seth Rollins. And basically, your typical Rollins working over J&J. J&J gets some good offense in, though, and even to the point where the crowd chanted, "You still got it" for Noble. It was it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be, and then a lot better. And
what are you trying to say?
What are you trying to say, fool? Dean Ambrose jumps the rail with the title and just hands Rollins the title because Ambrose is such a nice guy. He handed Rollins the title, and then when he grabbed it, Mercury pulls the old roll up on Rollins, and 1, 2, 3, J&J Security defeats Seth Rollins, and then Dean Ambrose gives the dirty deeds to Seth Rollins for his troubles and takes back the title. What do you think about J&J going over there, Matt? Future tag team champions?
No, no, they're not future tag team champions. It was just another brick to stack the deck against Rollins for Sunday, to make the fan believe that Rollins is legitimately going to lose the title to Dean at Money in the Bank. That's all. That's all it was for.
Let me get your guys' opinion here. This to me feels like Extreme Rules. Just a shitty, boring build-up, but it should be a good pay-per-view. Do you guys agree that it's been really a rather shitty and boring build-up?
Yeah, but I mean, it's hard to do a great build-up when you have 2 weeks.
True.
He nailed it.
True. But they've been on fire with some Raws and such.
The Raw wasn't bad.
I thought it was...
It just wasn't great either. It was just okay. It was just an okay edition of Raw.
It would have been probably... It was, yeah. It would have been a good 2-hour show, but it was a painful 3-hour show, I think is what it was.
That's every week.
True. That's why I have a hard time watching it live.
I can't do it anymore.
Yeah. I do it on rare occasions when I think it's going to be a good show, and then I get disappointed. You fooled me, pal! Let's transition to Ring of Honor for this week's, which aired on Destination America last night, and for some of us it aired on Saturday night. We start out with the Addiction, Daniels and Kazarian coming out and saying, "Oh look, Bobby Fish got attacked in the parking lot by somebody, and the main event of the evening will not happen between Red Dragon and the Addiction." But Kyle O'Reilly comes out by himself and decides for the tag team championships he's going to take on the Addiction by himself. And for a guy that's brand new to ROH, I tell you what, man, Kyle O'Reilly is the shit. This was an amazing match with him and the Addiction, and basically got to the point where O'Reilly was going to win the match, and then Daniels brings in a chair to get himself disqualified. Matt, what do you think about that opening ROH and mainly Kyle O'Reilly's performance in a handicap match?
It just further solidifies my point that Kyle O'Reilly shouldn't be teaming with Bobby Fish, and Red Dragon needs to break up as soon as humanly possible.
What do you? Obviously, I'm new to ROH for the most part. What do you have against Bobby Fish?
I just don't like, dude. I don't think he's that great in the ring. I don't like his look. I don't know. There's just something about the guy that just rubs me the wrong way. I like Kyle O'Reilly a lot. I am not a Bobby Fish fan, and I think Riley's shown enough on his own in the past, and even in the past month and a half, that shows that he should be split away from this tag team as soon as humanly possible.
Yeah, case in point, the Jay Lethal match.
Yeah, that's one of them.
Trevor, do you think Kyle O'Reilly? Do you see any wrestler like maybe a Daniel Bryan or somebody? Who do you see in Kyle O'Reilly?
It's kind of a tough call. Like, I mean, Danielson would be a good comparison.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not drawn as much to O'Reilly as I was Danielson, though. Like, he doesn't. I don't know if it's like a charisma factor or anything, but I mean, he's great to watch. Don't get me wrong; he puts on great performances. I just don't think he has quite that it factor, I guess it would be the way to say it, that like Brian Danielson had.
Mm-hmm. After the match, the Addiction attacks Kyle O'Reilly with the numbers game there, and then Matt Sydal and ACH make the save. We get a promo from Mark Briscoe, and basically this was a result from the tag match last week. The end of the tag match was some of the things that that was happening between the Truth Commission and the Briscoes, and we're going to get a Donovan Dijak and Mark Briscoe match at Best in the World here coming up later this month. We get ourselves a treat with one of the greatest Japanese wrestlers of all time there, Jushin Thunder Liger. He takes on a guy named Dalton Castle, and this is my first time seeing Dalton Castle, Matt, and I have to say Dalton Castle is quite the character.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Are you a fan of Castle at all?
I was at his debut at the Ring of Honor TV tapings in Baltimore, and my initial response to him was, "What the fuck is this?" And I still kind of have that same response. I don't know what to make of him one way or another, but I also had that same opinion of Tyler Breeze when he started, and I've come around on him. So we'll see where this guy is in a couple months from now, as far as I'm concerned.
Is it a matter of too much of his character in the ring and not enough in-ring action?
I don't know.
I think it's unique. It reminds me a lot of the Brian Kendrick, except he didn't have two little pretty boys with feathers. He had a big Ezekiel Jackson with him. But he kind of reminds me a little bit, mannerism-wise, of the Brian Kendrick. And then I sent Matt this DM when I was watching Ring of Honor, and I said that he kind of reminds me if Jack Black played Ronnie James Dio in a movie, that he would look like Dalton Castle.
Yeah, I thought you nailed it. I laughed out loud.
Oh, my Lord. Now, even though Jushin Thunder Liger is not as quick as he was, he is still 50 and doing some killer moves. A pretty decent lengthy match there. In the end, one of the funnier spots was Liger pulls off this sweet move, and Dalton Castle's boys do the little pose with Liger, which kind of pisses off Dalton Castle. In the end, Liger wins with the Brain Buster, and Castle shows some respect for Liger with a handshake, and all five gentlemen, the boys with Castle, along with Castle and Liger, they all take a bow for the crowd with a match well done. Now, like I said, I'm new to Ring of Honor. Trevor, can you explain to me cheeseburger?
Good luck, buddy.
I mean, he's cheeseburger. I mean, that's really...
And he's over.
Yeah.
And he's over.
He's totally over.
Really all I got for you. I mean, Cheeseburger and Bob Evans were a tag team. I don't really know what happened to that, because I wasn't paying attention.
Brutal Bob turned on him.
Yeah, he turned on him a couple, about a month or so ago at I don't know if it was a TV taping. I think it might have been I don't know. Not all their shows are TV tapings. Is that right?
Correct. They did. They do a bunch of house shows.
But they tape those house.
Unlike TNA.
But they do show. They show highlights from those house shows from time to time, right?
Yeah, some from time to time.
Yeah,
I kind of thought
film them because they put them out as DVDs or VOD. But
yeah, Cheeseburger, his Tron and his music, it's like a bad Japanese game show. I don't know what the hell that was. And he weighs about 110 pounds. But so I don't know. I need somebody give me a backstory on Cheeseburger.
Hey man, 110 pounds soaking wet. Get it right.
Yeah, he's no double cheeseburger.
All right, you're fired.
Try the veal. So
he can do that too. He owns this network.
That's true.
You better watch me. You better apologize. Such a bad joke.
Who owns the network? What network? Oh yeah, that's right. SpiderDuck.net.
Exactly. Apologize.
I ain't apologizing for that brilliant joke. Screw
well,
that.
Matt, you have to find a new co-host now.
Damn it.
Damn it. So we get
definitely
Cheeseburger
won't be the guy that thinks Kevin Owens can't cut a promo. And it's definitely not going to be him.
You're not going to bring that guy on?
No, not going to bring him on.
Anyways, Cheeseburger and Brutal Bob Evans. Brutal Bob Evans, he's got quite a unique look to him too. He kind of looks like a pedophile or something. I don't know.
Wow.
Jesus. Christ. Brutal Bob touch you or something, man?
I guess since he's fired, he's going out with a bang. Damn.
Yeah, there we go.
Good Lord.
Tell it how it is. Wait till you see my tell-all book. The match ends as Brutal Bob
was a diva behind the scenes.
Yeah, something like that. Brutal Bob slams Cheeseburger through a table to end the match in no contest. I don't know how many Cheeseburger references I could come up with that, but I decided to quit thinking about it. Main event time. Now, here's something. Like I said, I'm new to TNA. I'm new to... Sorry, Ring of Honor. I didn't mean to do that. I'm new to Ring of Honor. Are all their tag matches Tornado, or does the ref just say, hey?
The ref's kind of really lenient when it comes to their tag matches. They're not really Tornado, but sometimes the match kind of gets out of control, and they don't do anything to stop it.
The revised main event is the Kingdom with Maria looking great as always against the Bullet Club, Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows, and this was just an all-out war that basically, again, second straight match ended in no contest. Basically, it's going to set up for their Best in the World pay-per-view match, a 6-man tag match with Adam Cole joining the Kingdom, and who's going to join the Bullet Club for the 6-man? Do you know?
AJ.
AJ will? Okay. So
get ready to fly.
That was a fun tag match though between those guys. Great way to end the show. Just no control at all. Just an all-out war, and I expect probably the same at the Best in the World show. So Matt, what do you think? What do you think about Ring of Honor as we head to that special in just about a week?
I'm looking forward to it. I honestly think booking a pay-per-view on a Friday night is a really bad call. I think that's going to hurt Ring of Honor's buy rate in a tremendous way. And I really don't quite know what they were thinking. I mean, people don't even want to sit at home on a Friday night and watch free TV, let alone sit at home on a Friday night and pay to watch TV. So I'm not really into the night that it's being booked, but I think the card itself will be awesome. So, do you think
being on Destination America gives it a healthy bump once? I don't
know if I will call it a healthy bump, but it should get a minimal bump for being on national television for about a month before hitting pay-per-view again. So
Or which match are you looking forward to most? The title?
Lethal and Briscoe, without a doubt.
Yeah, that should definitely tear the house down. As we announced last week on Lost in the Midcard, we have our little awards, our little Slammy awards. We call them the Markies because we all are marks on this podcast, especially Trevor. Yeah.
Jab, jab.
I think it was more like a Ric Flair chop. Woo! Last week we gave you our WWE categories and nominees. This week I'll give you our NXT categories and nominees for the half year. NXT tag teams, the nominees are the Lucha Dragons, Enzo and Cass, Blake and Murphy. The Sweet Boys. Boys.
I wouldn't even have nominated them.
I didn't have anything else to nominate, so
I would have nominated.
I could have nominated the Ascension for. Or did they lose the tag titles in December? Didn't they?
I think they lost them in December.
See, when they had a December and a February takeover,
you've been better off nominating that tag team that hasn't even been put together yet.
Chad Gable and Jason Jordan.
There you go. Put them in there. Because you know damn well that a month those guys are a tag team.
Oh, well, obviously, they've only been teasing it 2 weeks in a row. So, NXT Diva of the half year, Charlotte, Sasha Banks, Bayley, Becky Lynch. NXT Breakthrough Wrestler of the half year, Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, Hideo Itami, and Baron Corbin. The best NXT feud of the half year, Sasha Banks against Charlotte, and let me know if you see a pattern developing here. Sami Zayn against Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe against Kevin Owens, and Finn Balor against Kevin Owens.
Okay, so Samoa Joe versus Kevin Owens could be a nomination for this. Why the hell is Samoa Joe not up for that other one you just said?
Breakthrough?
Yeah.
Well, he wrestled one match so far.
You jabroni.
I guess I could have put...
Trevor, what do you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is just half year.
JB.
This is just half year awards. Don't worry. He'll be in the year end, Marky. Don't worry about it. Don't you worry about it.
He's gonna win it, damn it. Spoiler alert.
The NXT What the Fuck moment of the year. Tyler Breeze debuting the selfie stick. Blue Pants defeating Carmella. The giant D-push of Bull Dempsey and Kevin Owens decimating Sami Zayn in their title match at TakeOver. Let's see here. NXT best match of the half year. The Fatal 4-Way with the ladies, Bayley, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, and Charlotte. Finn Balor against Neville for the #1 contenders match at TakeOver. Becky Lynch against Sasha Banks in the very last TakeOver special. And also another #1 contender match between Finn Balor and Tyler Breeze, which was also from the last TakeOver special. And then finally we get our NXT Wrestler of the half year. The nominees are Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, and Tyler Breeze. So we will give you our half year winners, and we'll see if they stack up once we give our official Marquee Awards at the end of the year. Now it's the time that we all have been waiting for, especially Matt, since he's now the leader of our prediction with by 1 over Trevor and by 4 over me.
Yeah, so, brother.
We'll see if Matt can continue the rise to prominence, or if Trevor can knock him back into his place. The Money in the Bank.
He'll get knocked back into his place.
Ah!
Happen.
Matt, do you like being wrong?
I know you do.
Yeah, but
who's been wrong more than you? Who's been wrong more than you this year, JB?
Hey, that's great. That means I get to enjoy the pay-per-views more because it's a surprise. That's how I see it.
You're ridiculous.
Start off with the kickoff match at the pre-show. Two guys that don't have anything to do are going to fight each other. R-Truth and King Barrett. Trevor, start us off with your prediction there.
King Booker. King Barrett. Really? Is R-Truth going to win a match? No. It's gonna.
Matt, who do you got?
Why are we voting on the pre-show?
We always do if it's announced.
You know what? With the downward spiral Barrett's on, R-Truth beats the Parrot.
And I thought I was going to be the only one to pick it. They've been burying the king. He must have gotten into some shit.
I don't know what he did. He pissed somebody off.
I think the burial of Barrett continues. The win does nothing for any of them, either of them. I think R-Truth wins as well because, I don't know, Barrett slept with Stephanie or something because, holy cow. Divas Championship match, Nikki Bella against Paige. Matt, who do you got there?
I still say Nikki retains. I say she's going after AJ's reign.
Yeah, they keep mentioning it on TV.
They've mentioned it way too much for the... Vince is so petty. And I guarantee you Stephanie's petty too after AJ tore her a new asshole on Twitter. If they can wipe out any accomplishment AJ made with that company, I think they're going to do it. And
is this a new asshole that was torn?
yes.
Ooh, what happened? I didn't see this.
Well, no, the one from a couple months ago, and she was still with the company.
To give Divas a chance.
Well, no, it was before that.
Oh, okay. I thought this was like a recent, like this week type of thing.
No, oh God. Oh, that would have been even worse.
Yeah, I fully agree. They mention it way too much now. She's approaching, I don't know how many AJ had, but Nikki is approaching 200. So, yeah, I'm fully convinced that Nikki's gonna retain there. How about you, Trevor?
Yeah, I think Nikki's gonna retain, unfortunately.
Listen how happy Trevor is over that result.
Why don't we give the NXT Divas a chance on Raw? Now, I don't know if it was you, Matt?
Can ruin them too.
Was that you that made the point where no, let's just keep them down there?
That was me, and I said it on Twitter, and I stand by this. There's no reason to bring them up to the main roster right now as long as Vince is booking the Divas division, because Paige came up and she's been up there for over a year. And she's the person that everybody said was going to come up and create change in that division, and she hasn't done a damn thing. And those girls down there that are working their asses off to bring us entertaining wrestling matches every week are not going to come up and change that division as long as Vince is booking it. So unless Vince hands the booking reins of the Divas division over to Triple H, there's absolutely no reason to bring any of those girls up from NXT right now.
Is it basically kind of like what was mentioned on one of the Austin podcasts? Is anybody just too afraid to break the mold?
Man, I don't know. Just Vince being a dumbass. How about that?
Intercontinental Championship match between Ryback and the Big Show. And I believe that Ryback is going to win, but I think it's going to be a DQ. I think The Miz is going to step in and attack Big Show from behind, causing the disqualification. And we'll probably get a triple threat at Battleground. Trevor, what do you think?
Big Show from behind, Big Show would win the match.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
So you're calling Big Show wins?
Calling Big Show by DQ, title stays on. But either way, Big Show wins. Yes, I'm sorry. Big Show wins because of Miz attacking him. Trevor?
I'm going to go with Ryback. I don't think they're going to cut the legs out from under him, at least yet.
And Matt?
The big guy is still hungry. Win for Ryback.
Yep, I just smell triple threat at Battleground. I just do.
I smell that being awful in every conceivable way. So, no.
But you're such a Big Show mark.
No, Rudy's the Big Show mark.
Kind of interesting. I'm on the Money in the Bank page at WWE.com. And they have a gallery of every Money in the Bank competitor ever. And you know who's highlighted on that before you click the link? Bobby Lashley. Thought that was kind of interesting. Yeah.
Wait, Bobby Lashley won Money in the Bank?
No, competitor. They show every competitor that's ever been in the match.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't remember that at all.
the title picture before you click the link to see the gallery is Bobby Lashley, which is kind of odd.
Yeah, that's interesting.
of all the guys they had to choose from to put up on that main thing for the article.
They throw up Edge or somebody like that.
Yeah. Tag Team Championships, New Day against the Primetime Players. Trevor, who do you got in that tag team title match?
I don't think they're going to be ready to take those belts away from the New Day yet. I think New Day is going to keep them.
Matt?
New Day rocks.
That makes 3 of us. I don't think Primetime Players
Sweet
are
for
going to...
the New Day!
Yeah. Imagine if Kofi climbs that ladder. Who are we going to pick here? But first we got WWE World Heavyweight title match. Seth Rollins against Dean Ambrose. Matt, who do you got in that one?
As much as I want Dean Ambrose, it's going to be Rollins.
Fully agree. Dean Ambrose is my favorite wrestler on the roster right now, but I think we're getting a Rollins and Lesnar match here pretty soon. So I'm going to go Seth Rollins and Trevor.
It's definitely Rollins.
Yep.
Without a doubt.
With clean or with interference?
There's totally going to be interference.
Yeah, I mean, plus it's a ladder match, so I mean it doesn't really difference.
Will there be interference by someone new?
No,
I don't think so. I think the Authority's pulling we're not going to help Seth Rollins, blah blah blah, and then it's Money in the Bank. Yeah, exactly. They're going to help Seth Rollins.
My only thought was anybody new to the Authority, maybe Kevin Owens.
I was just going to say, I wouldn't even be surprised if Kevin Owens came out and helped Seth Rollins. Would not surprise me at all.
Now, the Money in the Bank contract ladder match. 7 guys are in the match. Neville,
Why are
Sheamus.
we picking Cena and Owens last?
I don't know. I'm going in order, so... I'm just going in order from the pre-show on, so...
You jabroni.
Shut up. Does it matter what order we're in?
Yes.
No.
You had to stop and think about it for a second. You're like, wait a second.
No, I was waiting for Trevor to chirp in there for a minute, but...
Trevor wants nothing to do with your stupidity.
Shut up. Shut up!
Fire. You're fired.
7 guys in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Neville, Sheamus, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, Kane, Dolph Ziggler, and Kofi Kingston. Matt, who do you think wins the Money in the Bank ladder match in 2015?
Oh, shit. Smart money's on Roman Reigns, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have to stick with Roman Reigns.
You got Neville too soon. Sheamus, maybe, but they haven't really booked him to be great.
Dude, if they wanted to do something with Sheamus, they could have put the Intercontinental title on him last month.
It ain't Randy Orton's time is not cycled around quite yet. Kane, no.
Not a chance.
Dolph Ziggler, they sure as hell haven't been booking him like a big deal, and he's already won the Money in the Bank ladder match. I don't think you're going to give that to him again. Kofi Kingston, however, is interesting just because of the New Day and the New Day factor in the match. You know, it is interesting, but
I think the only thing that makes Kofi interesting is the fact that for some reason he's booked to face Brock Lesnar in Japan.
Yeah, but I think the all hands on deck WrestleMania in Dallas, Texas, to try to fill 100,000 butts in the seats, we're going to get a Shield triple threat match for the title. Ambrose wins the Rumble, Rollins is the champion, and Roman Reigns wins Money in the Bank. Trevor, who do you think?
I mean, the way they book stuff, like I don't think Roman really needs to win Money in the Bank.
No.
I would like to see Kofi win it instead. But honestly, he's the one that makes the most sense. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Roman.
It's not that we're picking Roman because we necessarily want Roman to win.
Yeah.
It's just WWE logic dictates that Roman Reigns is winning this briefcase. I'd love to be wrong. I never would have predicted a couple years ago when Damian Sandow won the Money in the Bank briefcase. So, we don't know. It could be anybody. But
like you said, the doors have to be blown off of this WrestleMania card, and I think a Shield triple threat for the title has to be in there. Don't you think?
I would love to have it. Personally, I think that would be great.
And so that's your first logical step in that direction. Well, second, because Rollins has the title, but
I can't see Roman Reigns holding the briefcase for that long.
Very interesting, though. It's just like there's no other mega main event outside of Orton. There's not really a mega person in this match, and Orton, I just doesn't feel like it's his time to make a run at it. So it's almost like unless they're gonna surprise the shit out of us with somebody, it's got to be Roman Reigns. Finally, Champion versus Champion Part 2. The first one blew the doors off the joint. Kevin Owens, the NXT Champion. John Cena, the United States Champion. A lot of people think that Cena's going to win battles 2 through 555. I don't. I think Kevin Owens is going to defeat John Cena clean a second time in a row. Though John Cena has not lost clean too many times in the past decade. You can count him in 2 hands, folks. But I think Kevin Owens, he wins this match. Trevor?
I really hope so. And I'm also going to go with Owens. I mean, if there's anybody that has the chance to actually do it, it would be him and the way they pushed him.
Matt?
Oh, I hope I'm wrong, but I'm going with Super Cena. Be it by disqualification or count out, which I think is how he will win. I don't think he will pin Owens or make him submit. But I see Cena getting his win back via count out or disqualification.
Yeah, I figured it's gonna. The money is on the same old shit, but I have a feeling this may not be the same
I would
old
love
shit.
to be wrong.
Yeah,
I was so happy that I was wrong 2 weeks ago when Owens beat him clean. I can't. WWE logic tells me there's no way in hell Cena loses back-to-back to the same guy in a 2-week span.
Can the internet be broken 2 straight weeks?
I hope
2 times in a row.
I hope they do, man. I really hope that they shock the world.
All right, so there are our predictions for Money in the Bank this Sunday on the WWE Network. Always an entertaining pay-per-view, to say the least, one of the bigger ones of the year. So this should be a fun time, exciting time. As we wrap things up, Trevor, any last words as we head into Money in the Bank?
I will be there at Money in the Bank.
Ooh, excellent.
Live.
We'll have to get you on here sometime after that for your live thoughts on that. Matt, any last words for you as we head into the briefcase pay-per-view?
Trevor, have a great time at the show. I hope it's as good as the card it looks like it can be.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and hopefully when we all get to sit around and talk again about the next pay-per-view, we can reminisce on how amazing Money in the Bank was.
Trevor, what shirt are you wearing to the event?
I was thinking about wearing my Paige shirt.
There you go. Our did you pre-order Samoa Joe?
I did not.
We Matt and I just got the confirmation that it shipped today. Woo!
Joe.
We can all be Samoan submission machines in our own minds once we get the T-shirt. But that'll do it for episode 20 of Lost in the Midcard. I'd like to thank you for tuning in to this show each and every time. Please make sure to share us. We are on iTunes thanks to spiderduck.net. You can subscribe, rate us, comment on us. Just spread the word as much as possible as you can. We are also on YouTube. You can subscribe to us there. Both links are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/lostinthemidcard. And that'll do it for this episode. For Trevor and Matt, this is Jeremy. Hope you enjoy Money in the Bank.